Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're going to be hanging out in the beautiful city of McDonough, Georgia, showing you around the square here and also talking and giving you some statistics and some pros and cons of living here in McDonough. So definitely stay tuned and let's get into the video. So if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome to the channel first of all, and just give you a little bit of a synopsis as to what the channel is about. So this channel is everything Atlanta, Georgia living and the surrounding areas, like places like McDonough, where I go and I give you the pros and cons of living there. I tell you what it feels like to live there. Definitely go to the channel and check out all of the videos, over 30 plus videos currently to date, where you can learn all about Atlanta. So if that is what you're looking to do, definitely go ahead and smash the subscribe button and head over to the channel and take a look at it after this video is over. But and also, if you are a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me. And so I think you guys are going to enjoy this video here in McDonough. You know what to expect from my video, so sit back, relax, and let's get into this video. All right, so as I said, we're going to be hanging out in McDonough, Georgia today, just showing you around the square here, and giving you some perspective about this little city down south. McDonough, Georgia is located about 30 miles south of Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. Does have a population of about 28,000 residents and counting. Really nice city. Situated in Henry County, which is the public school district here. Henry County Public Schools, very nice school district. And overall, McDonough is that small town city feel with a community feel, a nice downtown square. It's very active when it comes to family functions, family events. You have, yeah, somebody with their cannonball on the back of the car. You have the Christmas festivals every season. You have Oktoberfest. You have different family functions every season here in the city of McDonough. And I'm just giving you some perspectives behind me of the downtown square. I'm gonna walk around and point out some different places for you here in a second. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons of living here in McDonough. I do have my note cards just to make sure I give it to you correct. So if you see me looking down, this is a very candid video to where I'm giving you the information that you need to be successful. All right, so before we get into the pros and cons, let me give you a couple more data points and statistics about McDonough. Very first thing, it is a decently diverse city. 66% of the population is black, 25% of the population is white. Average household income here in McDonough is $70,000, 45.3% ownership, and 54.7% rental percentage as far as the ownership versus rent ratio. So again, I'll give it to you again because I know I just kind of botched that a little bit. 45.3% of the residents own their properties, and 54.7% of the residents rent their property. So I think that's a good data point just to keep in mind as to, you know, what the overall feel may be in certain pockets in certain neighborhoods. So in the public school ranking, it does rank 8th as far as the public school district, as far as the district itself amongst the other Atlanta metropolitan districts. Number 8, it ranks 8th here in Henry County. Also, fun fact about the school system, Henry County Public Schools actually rank number 9, or it ranks 9th amongst the entire state of Georgia for athletics. So it does have Henry County Public Schools do have a really thriving athletic department within their public school district. So if you have an athlete in the family, maybe a great opportunity for scholarships and things of that nature. So definitely consider that if you do have an athlete in your family, you want to give them a really good opportunity for some athletic scholarships. So one of the things that make McDonough, Georgia so unique is, although it is a small town, the shopping here in McDonough is actually pretty darn good. McDonough has 2 to 3 different commercial districts where you can actually go shopping and just about get anything you need without having to go up to Atlanta, without having to go over to another city. So definitely for shopping, it's definitely good. A good place to live. One of the notable shopping districts is going to be South Point, which is a 600,000 square foot commercial space right here in McDonough, Georgia. And if I get an opportunity, I may take you over there, let you take a look around there so you can see it. But every store you can imagine. If I don't, I will post a link and a picture of kind of what's all in that area. So very good for shopping, very good for living in McDonough and not having to leave to drive into Atlanta and all of that stuff, okay? So a very good place to be. All right, so let's get into some pros and cons. And look at that sky, guys. Oh, man. It looks very gray on that side. I may want to stand over here. So let's get into the pros and cons of actually living in McDonough, and then we'll do a quick little scroll around this area to show you what is all there to do in downtown McDonough, which is where we're standing right now. So the first pro that you'll find in McDonough is just its home sites. The home sites in McDonough are large, so you're gonna have a really good front yard, backyard. You're gonna have some acreage, okay? On average, most of the homes here come with a decent amount of acreage, just depending on what part of McDonough. Now, obviously, the closer you are into the city center, which is where we are now filming this, the closer you get into this area, the smaller, lot size you have. But for the most part, on average, you have a really nice, large lot. Okay. All right. Pro number 2 is that that McDonough is functionally equipped. One of the things I talked about earlier is the fact that you don't have to leave McDonough to do a lot of different things. And for me, that is a positive. That is a pro. It is functionally equipped. You can actually function living in McDonough and not having to rely on another city or another town to do your business. Okay. So to me, that is a pro. All right, so pro number 3 for McDonough is going to be that it is a very hospitable city. It's a very hospitable town, if you will. Southern charm. So when you're walking by, you get to say hello to people. People will say hello to you. People will look at you and smile. It's very endearing. It's not a off-putting, fast-paced, hustle and bustle, get out of my way type place. It is very hospitable, very charming. And it is a very, just that's it. It's charming. So to me, that is a positive. It's a good experience when you can go downtown and you can go into these shops and you get treated with respect. You get treated with good customer service. And so it makes you want to spend your money at these places more. It makes you want to have that experience. So definitely, it is very, very, very hospitable. Okay. So to me, that is a good, positive thing. All right, the last pro is going to be that McDonough is economically growing. It's economically prosperous, which is a very good trait. All right, you want to live in a place that is thriving, that is doing something, and if that is the place, if that is the goal for you, McDonough is definitely going to allow you to do that because there's so much growth in McDonough. There's so much attention towards McDonough. One of the things I think that makes McDonough so unique about other cities, suburban, metropolitan cities, is the fact that it is so independent on its own. It doesn't require so many other cities to function for its residents and things like that. So a lot of developers see that, and then they bring in more opportunity. They bring in more housing opportunities. The economic growth is really good. A lot of thriving businesses here. The movie scene in Georgia, just in general, appreciates McDonough. Like this square, throwing out another movie right off the top of my head, and I know I've mentioned this movie before in other videos, but for some reason they went all over the places that I'm doing that I go. But Almost Christmas was filmed right here on this square. The Christmas scene was right here on this square. So many movies have been filmed in this square that is to where it's not even funny. I mean, so many movies. So yeah. With that being said, economically, McDonough is prosperous and it is growing every single day, which I think is a positive thing. All right, so let's get into some of the cons of living here in McDonough, Georgia. So to me, the first con is going to be the traffic. As you can see, hustle and bustle right here in the city center, but McDonough does have a little bit of a traffic issue on the weekends, particularly, and then sometimes in the late evenings, early afternoon, late evening. You have a lot of flowing through the square, heading up towards 75, which is right up the road. So it can get pretty congested right here in the McDonough area. But overall, I mean, it's not going to be equivalent to like inner city congestion. It's going to be more so, a few lights catch you, that type of thing. But, but also in the same breath, it's not like you're not going to ever see a car. Okay. And I think one of the things that attribute to the traffic too is the fact that McDonough serves to be a nucleus for several other smaller towns right next door, like Hampton, Griffin, and Locust Grove. A lot of those people come to McDonough for, a nicer restaurant, or come to McDonough for shopping over in the commercial areas. So that really in itself brings a lot of traffic into McDonough. All right, con number 2 is gonna be the limited public transportation. So you will not catch the MARTA here in McDonough. There is no MARTA, there are no bus stops. You don't have that vibe here in McDonough. So if you need that, you definitely don't wanna move here. The only other solution is going to be the Georgia Express park and ride. That's the only solution close to public transportation, which is a park and ride set up to where when you park your car, you get on the bus and it takes you into Atlanta to another express stop or a MARTA station. So that's the only closest public transportation you have. Well, I take that back. That's the first one, which is the most, the most structured one. The other option is going to be Henry County Public Transportation, which is like a shuttle bus service to where you will call and say, hey, I need a ride. So it's basically like Uber from the county from 9 to 5 without an app, right? And so it's not functional for a scheduled pickup, drop off type thing. So you don't really have that here in McDonough. So that could be a con for some people. And the third con is going to be just commuting in general from McDonough to Atlanta. So McDonough is located 30 miles south of Atlanta, and so it can be a little bit of a task to get up to 75. And then when you get on 75, if you do it between like the peak times, traffic can be pretty, you have to stick with it on Saturday and Sunday, because going into Atlanta can be tough. Coming from Atlanta into McDonough can be tough as well. Now, one of the things they did do here is they created a express lane. Georgia in general has, Atlanta metropolitan area, we have what we call the Peach Lane or the express lane, or you may identify it as the Peach Pass. But basically that lane is an express lane where you pay for, basically it's a toll. It's a toll lane. It's a toll lane. You pay a few dollars to get in that lane to drive, a few distance without being in traffic. So they do have that all the way from Atlanta to, not even all the way from Atlanta, but where the congestion normally starts off 75 is where this express lane will start, and it'll bring you all the way down to McDonough without having to be in that traffic, the normal traffic on 75. So that's an alternative if you really are going to be a heavy commuter from McDonough into Atlanta every single day. So there is a little bit of a solution. I don't necessarily think that solution is 100% viable all the time, because it just depends on the flow. So it's a reverse lane, and so the lane opens and closes throughout the day. So it's not always an option, just depending on the time that you need it. Now, sometimes the time you need it may not be the time that it's available. So that's the only other caveat to the express lane. But all in all, commuting from McDonough to Atlanta can be a challenge, so just be prepared for that. So let's go ahead and walk around the downtown square, and I will point out some notable things to you that you've probably been seeing behind me. We're gonna look at, just pretty much do a nice scroll through McDonough Square to show you around. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Also, drop a comment before we start walking. Drop a comment right now and let me know what you thought about the pros and cons. Let's have a conversation in the comments. It really helps YouTube notice that people are engaging with the video. So if you could help me in that way, I would appreciate it. It definitely helps me reach more people just like yourself and provide this great content and great information. You know, I try to create my content to be informative, so that way you can learn something after you've watched it. You can feel like you've learned something, and really walk away, yeah, knowing a little bit more. That's it. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's walk around. All right, guys, so I've turned the camera around and I am now gonna just point out some notable things as we scroll through. So real fast here, this little center area here is pretty much a memorial and paying homage to all of our lost veterans and throughout all of the branches of government. So McDonough is definitely paying respect to all of those that serve and that have served. So that is what this memorial area is here. And then scrolling here, this big red brick building with the tower, the clock tower. That is going to be Henry County Courthouse and the Henry County Government Building. So again, Henry County, basically McDonough serves as the county seat or the county headquarters, if you will. So all of the government for Henry County is going to be in this particular building here, majority of them. And then there's a courthouse on the backside as well, and a few other administrative buildings kind of beyond, behind this area and beyond over in here. Okay. Also, pan into this direction here, you will find the Welcome Center. It's not a southern city or a southern town without a welcome center. Honestly, welcome centers are a little antiquated nowadays, but it is definitely cool to be able to walk into a welcome center, learn the history of a place, learn things to do, understand the different shops and all of that. So it's really a good small town feel here in McDonough. And then you have this restaurant here, Southern Roots, have really good reviews online. I have yet to eat there. My wife and I are scheduled to eat there one of these days. It is a tavern. They mostly do like dinner food and stuff. But let's just go ahead and begin our walk down since I've pointed out some notable things just standing here in the square. The square itself. So where I'm standing is the square, which is a grassy platformed area with a few picnic tables. You can grab, a scoop of ice cream over there at Scoops and just walk around on a hot summer day and really just see and hang out with friends and family. Sometimes during the summer, like today is a weekday, so you don't really have anybody here, but normally on the weekends you'll see a lot of families scrolling through here. And sometimes you'll see markets setting up in this particular area, different artists selling different things when they have art shows and such. Okay, so we're gonna just pretty much start our walk-in section on the corner of, I think this is Griffin Street. Let's see what street this is before I tell you. And this is not the stabilizer. I don't have the stabilizer guys with me, so I just have the selfie stick, so hopefully it's not too bouncy. So we're going to be at the corner of Griffin and it's this street. I think this is, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the street, so I'll remind you. I'll put it in the notes. All right, guys, so I'm gonna be quiet here and just kind of show you the area. Enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit.
Every time your best friend coming over, Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar sweet. Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar, just my kind of heat.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at McDonough. I hope you sit down and look at the pros and cons and see if McDonough, Georgia is a place that you want to call home. If it is, definitely I would encourage you to make that decision. It's a great place to live, a great place to visit. Also, invitation is open. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about Atlanta, Georgia, living in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, if you're already here in Atlanta, Georgia, I can help you move about the city too. If you're looking to sell your home, or if you're a first-time home buyer here in Atlanta or the metropolitan area, feel free to reach out to me as well. All of my contact information is in the description below. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.